But tonight I want to run through some great yoga poses to help stretch out the calves. I know personally as a runner, my calf muscles are very tight. Actually, why my yoga poses don't look like a lot of other yoga teachers, because every time I run, my calf muscles just get tight again. So I know it's a very popular topic that I get asked about a lot. I know a lot of my clients and students ask me about that. So I wanted to go through some great stretches for the calf muscles tonight. And so the first one that I would like to show you, first yoga pose for helping to stretch out the calves. One of the big ones that a lot of people think about is downward facing dog. When you think about lengthening through the backs of your legs, pulling your heels towards your mat or towards the ground, that really does help lengthen through the entire back of the leg, but especially through the lower calf and the ankle as well. So to come into downward facing dog, you bring your hands shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart, and I'm going to pull my heart towards my thighs, and I'm sinking my heels down towards the carpet, which is helping me to stretch through the backs of my legs. If you are working on strength, you can always bring your hands to blocks or to a chair and then walk yourself forward, and that will again help to open up the backs of the legs. So that is one of the most popular calf stretches, and it's one that I incorporate a lot when I am creating a yoga sequence that is for runners. I'll incorporate a lot of down dogs to help stretch out those calves. Other options would be a seated forward fold, or really any fold where you use something like a strap or a towel to pull the toes back, which helps to stretch through the calf. If you don't have a yoga strap, you could use something like a towel to wrap around your feet, like what I'm going to do with the strap. So here, I'm going to just take the strap around the balls of my feet, and then as I fold forward, I'm going to pull my feet so that I'm pulling the ball of the foot back. Big fancy word for this is dorsiflexing. When I'm flexing my foot, pulling my toes back towards my torso, and that's helping to stretch through the ankles a little bit and then stretch through my calves. So that's a nice easy seated calf stretch, pulling the feet back. So super simple to do. Even if you're not very flexible, you can stay with a flat back and again wrap something around your feet and then pull through the ball of the foot to help bring the toes back, and that will give you that good stretch. Another one that I really like is eagle pose. It's great because number one, you get to work on balancing, and balancing on one foot is going to help strengthen all of the ankle stabilizers in that foot, also help strengthen some of your foot muscles. So it's really good for strengthening the muscles that can get weak and lead to injury. So any sort of stabilizing muscle is very good to strengthen to help to help prevent injury. So for eagle pose, you won't be able to see all of me, but the feet are the most important for this. What I will do, I'll show you two directions. First one, you just wrap your leg around over, sort of like you're sitting in if you were to sit cross-legged. So you can keep the toe on the ground, you can float the toe, or if you're flexible, you can wrap your foot all the way around. And then in terms of arms, you can do eagle arms where you're wrapping one arm under the other and your palms meet. When you put your right leg over, your right arm will go under, and then left leg over, left arm under. So you could do that if you have tight shoulders. You can just give yourself a bear hug. Again, right leg over, right leg under. And I'll show you the legs from a different direction. So you again wrap one foot over the other, and again you can keep the toe on the ground, or you can float your toe or wrap, but wherever you're at, when you sink low, it helps to stretch through some of the muscles and tendons. It helps to stretch through the Achilles as well. And tight muscles and tendons in the ankle can lead to calf tightness as well. And so you want to make sure that if you have tight calves, that you also stretch out all of, your Achilles tendon and all of the surrounding tendons and ligaments that are in your ankle towards your heel. Very important. Last pose I want to show you is a variation of Warrior One. So most people, when they come into Warrior One, they like to keep their back hip open a little bit. But if you perform Warrior One where your hips are square, so you might need to move your foot in a bit, I do. If you pull the back hip or the hip attached to your back leg forward, that actually allows you, especially if you're a runner and you have tight calves, to feel a stretch through the calf. So my back foot is at a 45-degree angle, my front foot is straight on, and I'm working to really square my hips off. So instead of having my hips angled to the side, I want to square them in front of me. And again, that squaring of the hips allows a bit better of a stretch through the back of the leg. And so that's another variation that, at least in my body and in the bodies of lots of my clients too, talking with them, they have said that also that's been very helpful for them. So again, everybody's body is put together differently, so you may feel some of these stretches a little bit more than others, and that just comes down to finding poses that are right in your body and making a practice for yourself. So I hope that those stretches were helpful. I hope that if you have tight calves, they help you out too.